So today I wanted to explain why I don't take sponsorship or anything like that. Now, if you want to support me on like Patreon or, support like the continued development of my projects, I am still working on the game engine. I'm just dealing with life stuff right now. A lot has happened in my personal life. That's why I haven't been posting a lot. Things are good though. I just got approved for Medicaid, so yeah. But my knees are going out really rapidly, actually. It's kind of scary. It's hard for me to climb up the stairs. Like, I was fine when I moved in, but I worked like a job, like overnight, like stacking stuff. That was a mistake. I only survived 3 weeks of doing it, and I still have not fully recovered my knees, and there are just some days where I have to be very careful climbing down the stairs. It's a little scary. So, outside of that, I mean, I'm happy with my apartment and my situation, and things are going pretty well. But I kind of wanted to give a little bit of a PSA, because it came up in, I comment a lot on Think Peace Tribe's posts. I actually don't watch a lot of his videos just because I don't really watch a lot of political videos, but I do keep an eye on his posts because he posts posting a lot of interesting stuff and useful stuff that I want to share to my followers and things like that. And some guy got a little upset at me when I told Think Peace to be a little bit cautious about taking sponsorships, right? And again, like I said, I do not take sponsorships. And the reason why is because, a sponsorship or any other kind of like opportunity where somebody who doesn't know you very well offers you a significant amount of money means that they can influence your platform. And I know that sounds like a small thing, like, oh, well, what if it's something unrelated or whatever? Well, you don't know what's embedded in that. Now, if it's something that you care about and you know about, like, I don't really get too upset, for example, about Cam Sandwich, like, promoting these, like, indie games that he thinks are cool when he, like, talks to the creators. Like, if you're going to sponsor something, I think that'd be, like, the right way to do it. And, like, if somebody who was, like, an indie game creator, like, wanted to promote their game that way through my channel, that would probably be one of the few ways I would accept a sponsorship, right? Because I would be fine with promoting creative projects, especially since it would, put a little money in my pocket. But, a major brand like Ground News, absolutely fucking not. Are you kidding me? An AI that aggregates how to read the news? Are you kidding me? Do you want to just like turn your brain into slop? Do you want to stop thinking altogether? Like, I understand that reading every single article is difficult, but you don't have to read every single article. Okay? Like, you can also talk to people and, find out other things through that. Or like, if you're really invested in a subject, then yeah, research as much as you can, but you shouldn't be having a program aggregate it for you, especially one that you don't have full control over. That's literally owned by a company that's asking for money to host its services. Like, do you really think that's a good idea? Like, personally, I would not promote something like Ground News, right? And pretty much any of the major sponsors you're seeing today, like, I probably would not promote, right? But I want people to be very clear that, this is not just me being paranoid. Bribery does occur in these spaces. And, I want to mention something that happened to me earlier this year. So before I moved out of Michigan, right? So for those who don't know, I used to live in Michigan. I grew up in Metro Detroit and bounced around that area for most of my life, and then I moved to the East Coast this year. And a big part of the reason why was because I was in a really crappy situation where I was living with my ex, and because of a series of situations, my career collapsed and I wasn't able to get out away from her, right? I kept living with her because, I didn't want her and her kid to be homeless, and I ended up taking the price. And around this time, I was working wage jobs and I was barely physically able to make it go by. And this is when my body started to kind of fall apart. And I was approached by somebody. Now, I'm not going to say who this person was, but I was approached by somebody in DMs who used to talk to me back in like 2021 when I was really schizophrenic. And this person's like a book sniffer, I think would be the way to describe them. Like, they're not serious. They just read books to be cool. And they were explaining to me that they are like a CTO of an AI startup, and they have all this money and blah, blah, blah. And they were, now this was not, to be clear, this was not like a formal transaction. This was not something that verbatim they were saying this or that, but they were basically saying that they would be willing to pay for my rent, and they were also interested in me writing like Deleuze Guattari shit for like AI less wrong people. I'm not saying that those two things were directly correlated, but that's kind of how this kind of bribery works. It's not literally you being told what to do like some of these really obviously shady sponsorships will do. It's more kind of like, yeah, can you help me out with something? And like, yeah, I moved across the country in order to not deal with that, and I worked with my, network of friends to be able to get out of that situation without having to take that bribe. But my advice would be, based just on that event, that it's better to take the risk than to damage your project and your entire future and what you're holding. What project you have in your hands is very precious, right? You need to treat it that way. And that doesn't mean you can't take any sponsorships, but you should really think carefully about the ones you're getting. And honestly, the fact that you're not getting, these sponsorships in the first place probably tells you that you're maybe doing something right. The fact that you're still getting these view counts, like, again, if you want to really support a creator, just give them a little bit of money. If you have $5, just give them a little money. I mean, it really does help. And it's not just me talking, to my audience, to me, although I'd appreciate it, of course. But it's just in general, the part of the reason why these shady sponsorships and these underground bribes are able to happen is because, people, our ways of getting by just don't pay enough. Right. And yeah, I've been able to get by because of my connections, my networks, the GoFundMe and the donations. And now I'm in a position where I'm stable and I'm comfortable and I'm able to, get things done, which is pretty amazing, all things considering, the current state of things. But yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So that's just my message to the world. So take it easy and have a good one. And I'll have that demo up soon, I promise. I'm currently working on implementing the accessibility model, which sucks because it means I have to use Windows. And I'd rather just die than use Windows. Like, gamers, I don't know if I can forgive you for this one. Like,